Good morning, fellow seekers. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. We were going to be in person, but because of this beautiful snow, we're going to take advantage of being virtual today. What a great way to begin the month of February with such beauty outside. A sunny day, but snow. My name is Marianne Atwell Hardy, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And we're going to start today, as we always do, with a meditation. And today, I'm going to talk about meditation posture, because it really sends our bodies signals as to how to prepare ourselves, which is what we're doing. We're quieting our mind. We're preparing for the service that will come next. So I appreciate Stephanie Nash of Insight Timer kind of giving this little presentation on how important posture is to be able to be open-hearted. So I invite you to just close your eyes or have a soft gaze. Wiggle into your seat and drop your jaw. It's almost like if you can feel like you're in temperature water, that is the perfect temperature for you, whether it's warm, whether it's cool, whatever, and there's just a slight current going. And your body just relaxes and lets go, and your head is held up by the water. This allows your spine to open with more ease because your body doesn't have to hold up this 6 to 8 pound boulder that we call our head. Our bodies have developed the habit of rounding our shoulders from repeated physical acts, whether it's looking at screens, driving a car, just slumping on the couch. But rounded shoulders make us carry our head too far forward. So try just moving your head back. Sometimes a yoga teacher will tell you even to put a finger and move your jaw back. Because rounded shoulders are very unkind to our neck and the jaw, because the jaw has to tighten to be able to hold the neck up when we have rounded shoulders. And this means with a tight jaw, clenched jaw, as we say, that also tightens the belly. So rounding the shoulders also causes us to compress the lungs so that we can't breathe deeply. That's a lot of tightness for a body, and our goal is to relax the body. Rounded shoulders also tell the brain that we're depressed, that we're not empowered, and that we lack energy. Again, not what we want to cultivate. So to help the body balance the way it was designed to be, allow the body to stretch up in a way that feels good, creating space in the back of the neck and the small of the back, and really let your shoulder blades drop down the back, because that allows an opening in the front of the body, which then opens the chest and the heart center, which is what we're really trying to connect with during this meditation. So by doing that, you feel more openness, more heart-centered, just with a simple shift of the body. This is a habit to encourage kindness and open-hearted. So be sure and let your jaw drop, and start to feel the release. The jaw is tightened when we try and control our experience. And if you tune into that, you'll see, when someone is tightening their jaw, they're really trying to hang on to a particular state of being. And we're trying to enter into more meditation. So dropping of the jaw in the body is telling the brain to be open to new ideas and new thoughts, new ways of thinking, which is exactly what we're trying to cultivate. So I ask you now to take a deep, pleasurable breath in, and then a deep sigh out. Letting the jaw drop, the shoulders drop back and down. And see if that feels more relaxed and more open. It also helps to have a slight smile on your face. Because again, that signals to the body all is well. And indeed, all is well. So let's get quiet now. Open your jaw. No one's looking. Put your shoulders down. And relax into the music and just keep the breath going all the way down to the belly. We'll take about 15 minutes. We'll come back out at 10:05. Actually, it's about 10 minutes. So I will see you then. As the music fades, I invite you to slowly come back into your body. Take a very deep sigh, let it out. I know I experienced more ease, more peace by remembering to push my chin back, my shoulders down, my jaw open. And so if we can just remember that we're constantly sending our body signals that all is well, that all is jaw dropping, because we can live in awe. And that by those simple shifts in our posture, we can also be much more heart-centered and open to new ideas and new thoughts. So thank you for creating this space, for preparing yourself and our community by opening yourself to all that can be. So I invite you to do whatever you need to do and join us back at 10:15. Namaste.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me. A little bit deeper than I've ever been before. I'm walking on marbles. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. And everybody said, something's calling me. Little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me. Little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me. Little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. My life to you, oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Oh, love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand. I'm gonna stand up for joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living and our Sunday celebration service. I'm so very glad that you have joined us. And while I was really looking forward to being in the room at Solely Holistic this Sunday, I am very glad for the technology that allows us to still be able to be together today despite all of the weather that we've had over the last couple of days. But isn't today a magnificently glorious day? As I'm standing here, I can look outside and see the trees covered with a little bit of snow and the ground all beautiful and white and the sun shining. It's a magnificent day. So welcome. I'm really glad that you're here with us. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and privilege of being this community's spiritual director and senior minister. Our center, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, is part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive faith, philosophy, and way of life. It's a global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Our community is the spiritual home for a diverse group of people who are seeking a deeper and abiding connection with each other and with the God within. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this within a sacred and supportive community that welcomes everyone just as they are. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this within a sacred and supportive community that welcomes everyone just as they are. I think that I already said that, but it doesn't hurt to hear it twice. Our mission is the transformation of our personal lives into being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. We do this through celebration, service, study, fellowship, and the energy of unconditional love. Our vision is a world that actually does work for all. We do this by consciously practicing the truth of our oneness and unity with God in our everyday lives. You are welcome here, no matter where you are on your spiritual path. I do have a few announcements for you this morning. Along with our continued acknowledgement and participation in the season of nonviolence, February is Black History Month. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and a time for recognizing their central role in U.S. history. Since 1976, this month has been designated as Black History Month, the entire month of February. Other countries around the world, including Canada and the United Kingdom, also devote a month to celebrating Black history. We celebrate all of the amazing achievements and all of the amazing African Americans around the country. Truly, Black Lives Matter. This is also a save the date for our annual meditation retreat. It's quite a bit early, but I really wanted to get you to be thinking about it and perhaps put it on your calendars. The retreat will be held at the St. Francis Springs Retreat Center Friday, May 27th at 6 o'clock through Sunday afternoon, May 29th at 3 o'clock. The weekend will include multiple types of meditations to experience and explore, opportunities to be in nature, good food, good music, and deep connection not only with the divine, but with each other. It is truly a life-altering experience. Please consider joining us for this amazing and sacred event. The invitation is to be on the lookout for registration information and to mark your calendars today. There is still time through the rest of the day today to register for our upcoming class, Living from a Place of Surrender. It's a class created by Michael Singer, renowned author, teacher, and speaker. The intention of the course is for each participant to really recognize that voice inside their head and to not, I know you know the one I'm talking about, but to not only quiet down, but to steadily remove the root cause of its existence. It's about going beyond yourself and transforming your life. Now, we have a few spots open for the class that's being held in the Durham Duke Forest area. It's 8 Monday evenings from 6:30 until 8 o'clock, beginning Monday, February 9th. The class is $150 and must be paid in full by the end of the class. We have payment options available if you are interested. Please register at info at trianglecsl.org. Upcoming services, Sunday, February 8th. This next Sunday, we will be online only. Sunday, February 15th, we will be live at Solely Holistic. And Sunday, February 22nd, we will again be in person at Solely Holistic. Meditation, as always, 9:45, celebration service, 10:15. The address for Solely Holistic is 5540 McNeely Drive, Suite 101 in Raleigh. Your GPS may tell you once you get on McNeely to take a left and come in front of the building, but I think it would be better for you to just go straight, go down the little hill, park in the parking lot down there, because the entrance to Suite 101 is in the back on the level main floor. Mark your calendars for our annual Super Bowl and Chili Cook-Up off on next Sunday, February 8th. We've been doing this for many years, and it always proves to be a very fun evening of great food and fellowship. The cost of the evening is $5 or a large pot of your favorite chili. The winners receive cash prizes, a trophy, and of course, the ever important bragging rights. The winners receive we will also be doing those game boards where you put some money on a square, and so we'll be having that. So there's other kinds of things going on for that evening. Please RSVP to info@trianglecsl.org with the number of people in your party and whether you will be bringing chili for the contest. Please consider doing that. We will be online during the day, but then you can, have lunch or do whatever you're going to do for Sunday afternoon and then come and join us. We'll be accepting chilies from 5:30 until 6:30, and the kickoff is at 6:30, and we will be there till the end of the game. So please join us. This is another Save the Date announcement for our TCSL Wise Women's Tea, which will once again be held on Mother's Day. Again, it's quite a ways off, but we want you to know. Sunday, May 10th, Wise Women's Tea. The event is for women of all ages who would love to share their wisdom with each other. There will be tea, small bites, fruit, cheese, and chocolate. The event will be held from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Come to church, have lunch with your family, and come back to join us at 3 o'clock. Please, we'll have information about registering for that later, but put it on your calendars now. Our Wednesday evening services will be on hiatus for the upcoming future. However, we did not want to abandon our practice of giving community members a midweek spiritual pick-me-up. So we have a new program called A Year of Value, and it's a journaling self-study program in which you will receive a quality each week, a particular value, in which you will be able to read the definition of the qualities, some quotes from Science of Mind or also from other faith traditions. You'll receive a homework assignment to do over the upcoming week to be able to really bring that value into your life in a really strong way. And by focusing on the many different aspects of leading an exemplary life, by looking at all of these different values throughout the year, we believe that it will support participants in truly making 2026 a year of value. So to sign up, send an email to info@trianglecsl.org indicating your desire to participate. Before moving on, I would like to thank Marianne Atwell-Hardy for her beautiful meditation. Thank you so very much, Marianne. And now please welcome her back to the stage.
Good morning again. Our theme for the year 2026 is Open at the Top. And our theme for the month of February is Embracing the Edge. And Rev Desti's message is Walking the Edge of Life. So I'd like to invite now our Blessing of All Faiths that will be done by Carol Cross and Janelle Moore.
The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of the Christ consciousness, of love and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, one's highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practices and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principles of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart and the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with absolutely no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our beautiful snow day. Some of us have been hoping for this for a while, and it's great if you can be inside with your loved ones, your fur babies, and maybe a pot of soup cooking on the stove. I'm Barbara Kane, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner with the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. And I invite you all to close your outer eyes as I speak our invocation, a blessing on the service this morning. The divine presence within me is everlasting love. The action of love is expressed in my world. God's wisdom holds me steady, and the peace of God fills me. I am his creation, understood and wanted and cared for. And as this is true for me, this is true for every member of our congregation, everyone that's watching us now or in the future when they look at this. And I know that we are truly blessed as a community. And so I speak a blessing on our beloved Reverend Dusty as she brings forth the inspired word of spirit, as she expresses through herself something uplifting, something loving, something that will touch everyone, something that brought us here today. And I speak a blessing on our musician, Faith Rivera, as she inspires us with her gift of music and song. And I speak a blessing on Heather Abbott, the most wonderful IT and behind the scenes person that any organization could ask for. And I speak a blessing on all the volunteers, knowing that everything that they have done for today and in the background to help make this service a possibility today, that they are lifted and embraced by the one light and the one love. And so I know going forward today that this service is a blessing to our community, and I release this word into the law of love, the law that only ever says yes, and so it is. And now I want to do the reading. The reading today is from The Inner Journey by Howard Thurman. He says, Human need in all of its dimensions is the swinging door to the innermost life of another. To put it differently, it is the point at which the spirit is most highly sensitized for communication. If a person is moved from within their own spirit to do the deed of ministering to the need of another, and if the need of another is the point at which the spirit is most highly sensitized to communication, then it follows that the good deed is a meeting place for the mingling of one life with another. What a person has experienced in insight, they achieve in the deed. What a difference giving makes now. It is no longer an offering merely of money or time or services viewed as a sacrifice or a cause for merit, recognition, or glory. It is a simple sacrament involving all of a person as their spirit moves through the swinging door of need into the very citadel of another spirit. And so it is. And now we have
Hello, everyone. Babs had mentioned Faith Rivera. We were going to have a video by Faith Rivera and a second one a little later after my talk, as we usually do our music with Faith Rivera and Harold Payne. And we were having some trouble, as we sometimes do with our technology. So we won't be having any music today, but you're certainly welcome to sing a little song if you would like to at home. Otherwise, I welcome everyone who has just turned on your television sets or your computers at home. We're very glad that you've chosen to join us today. This month's theme, the month of February, is embracing the edge. Embracing the edge. Ernest Holmes encourages us to be open at the top, and to do that, we must keep growing. And that means growing beyond the known and beyond what is comfortable for us. According to the CSL Theme Committee, the focus throughout February is about pushing the boundaries of our beliefs, pushing the boundaries of our comfort zones, both individually and collectively. Throughout the month, the concepts of involution, which is turning inward, and evolution, which is expressing outward, will be explored. This will highlight the dynamic interplay between inner transformation and outer change, walking the edge. The theme committee chose to use the first Sunday of the month to put the emphasis on introspection, encouraging individuals to explore the edges of their own personal beliefs and their own inner world. However, I was called to shift the talk titles from their originally designed order, and today I'm going to be talking about walking the edge of life, walking the edge of life. Now, this was an opportunity for me to dive into the inspiration that I felt in the presence of the venerable monks on their peace walk, and to talk about walking the edge of life from the backdrop of the Season for Nonviolence, which began 2 days ago on Friday, January 30th. And I didn't want too much time to go before I had this conversation, because I thought that it was important to do right at the beginning of the Season of Nonviolence. So the focus of today's message is on how individual evolution affects the world, how individual evolution affects the world. And next week, I will go back to that introspective look at living on the inner edge. Now, walking the edge of life means showing up for the truth that lives within us, and really allowing that truth to move through us in a real and visible way, even when it feels risky to do so. Now, science of mind teaches us that our thoughts and our beliefs really shape our reality, but it also calls us into right action. into embodying the values that we affirm and actually living as if our vision for the world is already true. To live our truth beyond comfort means to look past fear or misunderstanding or rejection. And as Ernest Holmes suggested, to act as a friend to the whole world, to act as a friend to the whole world. Now, the CSL Theme Committee really challenges us to hold our inner steady rhythm, to hold our inner steady rhythm while we dive into situations that require courage, situations that may require vulnerability or even sacrifice. Walking the edge means leaning into the space between safety and growth, where faith becomes a lived experience. Reverend David Alexander says, if new thoughts only claim were that it is a personal philosophy concerned solely with individual consciousness and private transformation, but it is not. New thought makes a far bolder claim. It insists on the universality of consciousness and the principle of oneness as fundamental truths. This oneness does not merely unite the individual with a power greater than the self, it binds us to one another in community, in shared conditions, and in mutual destiny. We are not isolated beings managing private realities. We are individualizations of the one expressing as many. So the CSL Theme Committee described 3 discussion points. And the first idea is that there is an edge between private belief and public action. Many of us find comfort in our spiritual insights, but hesitate to bring them forward into visible expression. This week asks us to cross that edge, to let what we know inwardly guide what we do outwardly. To let what we know inwardly guide what we do outwardly. This idea points to something very powerful, that when we are comfortable with our spiritual insights, we stop treating them like fragile secrets. We don't need to defend them aggressively, and we don't need to hide them to avoid judgment. That inner ease creates integrity. Our inner life and our outer life come into alignment. And that alignment is grounding, not only for us, but for all of the people around us. Spiritual insight isn't meant to stay private forever. It's meant to be lived into the world. Bringing spiritual insight into visible expression doesn't mean always talking about beliefs or always using spiritual language. Often it shows up as how we listen without rushing to fix, or how we act with compassion even when it's inconvenient, or how we make choices that reflect meaning rather than fear, or how we set boundaries that honor our values. There's also a quiet service that happens through visible expression. When people see someone living from their inner truth with humility and with steadiness, it gives permission for others to do the same. It gives permission for others to really lean into their own inner knowing. And that's important. That's so important for our growth, all of our growth. As I think about the season for nonviolence, and most specifically about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, I realized that walking the edge of life was at the heart of each of these men. It was their moral genius. Dr. King and Gandhi lived in the tension between their inner convictions and their outer activism. Walking that edge, they refused to let either side collapse into the other. They both asserted that their private beliefs were not just opinions, but rather they treated them like a discipline. They both asserted that their beliefs weren't a private comfort, but really a rigorous practice, a practice that required consistent, constant, conscious commitment from both of them. A key point for both of them was that their private beliefs were meant to be tested in public, not protected from it. Through the way that they both lived their lives, they showed that the edge is not a line that we stand in or on, but rather a path that we walk. And that while we walk that path, we constantly are correcting ourselves. They showed that private belief without public action becomes sentimental, and that public action without private discipline becomes cruel. I think I'm going to say that again. Private belief without public action becomes sentimental, and public action without private discipline becomes cruel. Both men believed in public action as witness, not coercion. Gandhi's civil disobedience aimed to expose injustice by refusing to cooperate with it. When he broke laws, he did so openly, and he accepted the punishment, thereby revealing the state's moral bankruptcy. Now, King's nonviolent resistance worked in much the same way. Marches, boycotts, and sit-ins were designed to dramatize injustice so clearly that the nation would not be forced to turn away. They could not turn away. They were forced to really see itself. They were not saying, do this because I say to, but rather they were inviting us to take a look at what we are doing, both individually and collectively, and decide who we want to be in the matter. Who do we want to be? Walking the edge means that we will be too political for some people and not political enough for others, and be misread by both sides. King was accused of being both an extremist and a traitor all at the same time. Gandhi was criticized by both the British and his fellow Indians. The bottom line is that if everyone understands us perfectly, we're probably trimming our convictions to fit the room. The second idea is that when we live our truth or walk the edge of life, we inevitably encounter moments of discomfort. It might mean speaking up when silence feels easier. It could be standing firm in values that others don't yet understand, or showing kindness when cynicism would be safer. Individually and collectively, we can ask ourselves, what does it look like to stay faithful to our inner compass when the path is steep or rocky? Are we willing to be uncomfortable or challenged or lonely or misunderstood or put out in order to live our truth? As I thought about these questions, my thoughts first went to the Peace Walk and to the 18 monks who are walking 180 days to bring an awareness of peace, mindfulness, and kindness to the world. Now, every day they walk between 10 and 15 miles, no matter the weather, no matter their accommodations, no matter their blisters or sore legs or frozen hands and feet or windburned skin. They walk despite being away from their homes, eating only one meal a day, sacrificing their normal daily routines and what I can only believe are about 1 billion other discomforts. Now, throughout it, they stay true to their inner compass. They smile, they voice prayers, they hand out flowers, and they hold frequent events for people to interact with them. They're quietly powerful, sacredly peaceful, and really amazingly joyful throughout all of it. And then I thought about Dr. King and Gandhi. Living on the edge or living their truth didn't just include discomfort, it practically guaranteed it. And the discomfort wasn't abstract or poetic, it was physical, emotional, social, and constant. For Dr. King, living his truth meant insisting publicly and relentlessly that America live up to its own moral and constitutional promises. What that discomfort looked like for him was constant danger. He received daily death threats. His home was bombed. He was stabbed. He was arrested nearly 30 times. The FBI harassed him, wiretapped him, and even tried to destroy his reputation. He experienced public misunderstanding and moral loneliness. He knew that he could be killed at any moment, and ultimately he was. For Gandhi, living his truth meant radical nonviolence, personal discipline, and moral consistency in the face of the empire. What that discomfort looked like was voluntary suffering. He embraced hunger strikes, imprisonment, and physical weakness as tools of moral resistance. He lived simply, gave up material comforts, practiced extreme self-restraint, and held himself to standards that were often brutally demanding. Gandhi understood that truth wasn't just something you believed, it was something you embodied even when it hurt. Discomfort was not a side effect, it was a part of the method. Both men believed that voluntary suffering was the bridge between private belief and public change. They did not seek suffering, but they accepted it as the cause of walking that edge honestly. For both men, living their truth meant accepting suffering without becoming bitter and choosing integrity over approval. So we ask ourselves the questions again. Am I willing to be uncomfortable or challenged or lonely or misunderstood or put out in order to live my truth, in order to walk the edge of life? The third idea is that science of mind is not only a teaching of ideas, it is a teaching of embodiment. And Ernest Holmes reminded us to refuse to see the negative side of anyone. That refusal is not passive. It takes courage to hold love and goodwill in situations where frustration or fear might otherwise lead. I'm sure we've all experienced moments like that in our lives. It takes courage to do that. Walking the edge of life means practicing seeing God, seeing good where it isn't obvious, but seeing it anyway, and holding that vision of truth. In order for us to do this, we are encouraged to really stand firmly grounded in our awareness of our divinity and our oneness. And not only to stand in that awareness for ourselves, but to stand in our awareness of everyone else's divinity and oneness. Everything on the planet without exception. As Bhikkhu Kanapara said during his talk at the peace rally at the Capitol in Raleigh, look around now. We have different backgrounds, different faiths and beliefs, different skin colors, different languages, but we are able to come here together in this weather, in front of this Capitol, just to support the mission of peace. It means there's no difference between all of us. In order to do this, the invitation is to powerfully, consistently, and gratefully engage in spiritual practices that allow us to stand firmly grounded in our oneness, to see the face of God everywhere and in everyone. Now, in order to do this, Gandhi rooted himself in Satya and Hamza, truth and nonviolence. For him, these were not slogans, not bumper stickers. They were daily disciplines that involved fasting, prayer, self-critique, and restraint. King's grounded his work in a Christian agape love shaped by the Black Church and thinkers like Augustine, Thomas Aquinas, and Reinhold Niebuhr. Nonviolence for them was not passive. It was a moral method requiring the spiritual practice of emotional control, forgiveness, and courage under humiliation. Dr. King and Gandhi both entered public life fully, knowing that it would be messy and dangerous. But they refused. They absolutely refused to dehumanize the people that did not believe as they did, even those who jailed or beat them. King famously said that he wanted to defeat injustice, not white people. Gandhi insisted that the British were not evil, the system was. This allowed them to act without becoming what they oppressed. They framed injustice as shared moral crisis rather than a sorting mechanism between good people and bad people. The language that they used left room for people to repent without being annihilated socially or spiritually. They both studied those with different ideas and beliefs carefully, very carefully, and they listened and spoke to their fears, and they treated them like they would want to be treated. They refused to reduce others to caricatures or use dehumanizing shorthand or language that made violence seem inevitable. They refused to collapse disagreement into moral corruption. They understood that you cannot build a just society using habits that would poison it. As we take our truth out into the world, we are encouraged to be more like the monks, to be more like Dr. King or Gandhi. The way that they lived their life, or in the monk's case, are living their life, are things that we can also do in our own unique and individualized way. The invitation today is to remember our oneness, to see the face of God in everyone and everything, to remember without judgment that everyone is inherently valuable and that they are integral to the whole, to see beyond the external differences and to take the time to recognize all of the ways that we are alike. The invitation is to be curious enough to ask the deeper questions and open and receptive enough to really listen to the answers, even though we might not agree with them. The invitation is to choose to name harm rather than naming villains, to criticize actions and systems without collapsing people into them, to refuse the emotional reward of winning a conversation, choose visible integrity over visible outrage, and to defend someone's dignity even when we disagree with their position. The invitation is to recognize our shared humanity, to remember that we are more alike than we are different, and that what unites us will lead us to the common good and to a world that works for all. The CSL Theme Committee says, walking the edge of life is not about reckless leaps. It's about courageous steps. As students of science of mind, we are invited to bring our insights into action, to turn our deepest truths into daily deeds. The invitation today is for each of us to take the time this week to reflect on the edges where we may still be standing even now. Places where we feel called to speak or to move or to share, but fear or discomfort holds us back. To ask ourselves, what would my life look like if I trusted my truth enough to live it visibly, even when it's uncomfortable? The invitation today is to take one small, brave step into visibility this week, knowing that every act of courage ripples outward, shaping the world that we long to see. The invitation is to be willing to step up and take action for that world. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you all. I just invite you to turn within for a moment of prayer. Oh, as I close my outer eyes and turn inward, I am acutely aware of that spark of the divine that resides within me. That presence of peace, of joy, of creativity, of love, of abundance, of grace, of freedom. I know that I am one with this power and presence. It is that which created me. I can never be separate from it. Wherever I am, whatever situation I am in, God is there in its fullness and in its wholeness. Sometimes I can't see it, but it is there, like the sun hiding behind the clouds. On this we can rely. And just as I know that this is my truth, I know that it is absolutely the truth for each and every person listening in this moment, those that listen later, for our entire spiritual community, and for all sentient beings on the planet. We are all unique and divine manifestations of the One, here to be its ambassador on the planet, to bring forward all of its qualities into the world in our own unique way. And it is from this place of deep connectedness that I speak these words about and for each of us today, truly knowing that we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, and that we arrived here on purpose. And that purpose is to be that ambassador, to bring forward all that God is into the world, to know all of the practices and principles and laws and insights and revelations that we know or have received, and to bring them forward in a visible way. That we don't need to hide them. We don't need to defend them. We just need to bring them forward in the way that we speak, in the way that we act, in the way that we live our lives. Be the one we are wanting the world to be, to have. Be that person. And everyone around will take notice and begin to realize that they too can be that person. And one by one, everything shifts. And together we create a world that works for everyone. And so I claim ease and grace for us, that we do not have to toil or struggle or even suffer to do this. There may be moments that are uncomfortable, but we have everything we need within us and God at our back to support our expressing our beliefs. I'm so grateful to know that we can all walk the edge of life, that we can all do it, and that we are supported as we do so by that which created the universe in the first place. So I release these words into a law that only ever says yes, a law that clothes my words in form even as they are spoken. And so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. I invite everyone to anchor this prayer for themselves, for each other, for our spiritual community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. And this is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and love and warmth for each other and for others. Together, we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are three ways that you can give. You can visit our website at trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148. Or you can send a check to PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. I invite you to turn within for another moment as I speak a word of blessing on this offering, knowing that the process itself is an opportunity to stand in an expanded view of all of the ways that we are abundant and to focus our attention on all of this abundance by practicing sharing and giving. That by recognizing our good and being willing to give some of it away, we enter into the law of circulation and participate in the powerful flow of the universe. I know that as each of us enters into this eternal flow of giving and receiving, that the gift we give comes back to us. The blessing and the blessed are one. Thank you all so very much for your gifts, and I thank God for the gift of each and every single one of you. Please welcome Barbara Kane back.
Hello again, everybody. That was such a fascinating sermon, Dusty. Thank you so very much. It always helps me true myself up when I hear something like that. Very inspiring. And now I invite everyone to join me and Marianne as we share with you our February 1st affirmation. This is a call and response. Please repeat it with meaning. Today, I choose to walk the edge of life.
Today, I choose to walk the edge of life.
To trust that the edge is not where faith ends, but where faith begins to be seen.
To trust that the edge is not where faith ends, but where faith begins to be seen.
Today, I choose to practice living my truth beyond my comfort zone.
Today, I choose to practice living my truth beyond my comfort zone.
To trust that my truth is not fragile and that it is meant to be lived.
To trust that my truth is not fragile and that it's meant to be lived.
Today, I choose to take one small, brave step into visibility, knowing that every act of courage ripples outward, shaping the world I long to see.
Today, I choose to take one small, brave step into visibility, knowing that every act of courage ripples outward, shaping the world I long to see.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now, let's close our outer eyes for the benediction. I know that God in me, as me, is never troubled. Nothing can take love from me or keep it out of my heart. Love enters freely and there is no restriction to it. I came into this world to love and I am loving. I express my love for God, a boundless gratitude, because I live. God rejoices for me because of and by means of me, and so it is.
Thank you very much, Babs and Marianne and Heather, for really making this a wonderful service. And thank you all for being present. Have a really wonderful week. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe. They're telling us to still stay off the roads for a little while, and perhaps that's good. We can play in the snow or just hang out, catch up on some reading or a little bit of television, and just be with your loved ones. I love you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you online again next week. Take care.